Hey everybody. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded here onto the Burning Bush. And if you watch my other channel at all, you may have seen the video about why I didn't upload a normal video this last week and talk a little bit about depression. And I wanted to share a little bit here because it's definitely affected this channel some as well. What a lot of people don't realize, I'm going to talk not just about depression, but also about pastors and anxiety and struggles, and hope that you understand. One of the things that happens a lot with church ministry workers and pastors and people that put themselves out is there's a lot of dependence, I guess you could say, on positive feedback. That when you don't get it, you can feel very isolated and alone. I've talked about ministry being a very lonely experience. Video production, in many ways, is the same kind of thing, where you can struggle with just producing and getting isolated and alone. There are things that happen in the course of producing a video that can happen. In my case, money has always been a big issue that I have really struggled with. That when my money is tight, my faith struggles. Um, and so I want to encourage you, if you know somebody who's out there, your pastor, your minister, encourage them, give them that positive feedback. They really do need it. When you don't, we kind of joke in pastoral circles that about the Monday morning blues, that you can preach amazing on Sunday and Monday you're ready to quit. And this is that kind of cycle that everything that you have poured out has now been washed away, and you're kind of wasted and worn out and exhausted and tired, and you struggle with a depression feeling. It's very normal on Mondays. So again, give them encouragement and help them with that. One of the things, though, that we have that I think we've missed on in church circles is how we deal with things like depression and anxiety and loneliness. And our general answer all too often is, well, you just need to pray your way out of it, brother. Well, that's just not godly. It's not spiritual. And if your spiritual was fine, you wouldn't be depressed. And that's not always the case. Clinical depression is a real thing. It can be a chemical imbalance. It can be a result of circumstances. It can be a result of vitamin deficiency. It can be a result of other health issues. For others of us, it's a cycle. For me, typically after the Christmas holidays and everything, there is a crash I go through. And somewhere between January and March, it hits me. And I'm just like, I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to deal with stuff. I don't want to deal with bills. I don't want to deal with money. I just don't want to deal with nothing. And over the last several years, generally somewhere between January and March, I will take a week. There's been various opportunities I've had where I will go to a retreat center, to a hotel. I had a couple times friends have blessed me with timeshares, and I just travel and I go sit somewhere and do nothing. No theme parks, no computer games, no getting out, and just unwind and turn the phone off, turn the email off, and shut down for a little bit so I can recharge and re-energize. And prayer, obviously, and devotion are part of that. But there's people that can't just come out of depression through prayer. There's times that they need people to come alongside. Hey, I haven't seen you lately. Are you doing okay? What's going on? Unfortunately, there are, just hands here, there are a lot of Christian leaders that struggle with depression that they don't tell people because they know you're going to hear from the church people that, you just aren't spiritually good enough if you're suffering from depression. And I can think of terrible examples like Rick Warren's son who committed suicide, and Toby Max, that it hits them and they don't feel they can confess it and deal with it, especially if it's clinical depression and things happen. Folks, first off, if you're depressed, get help. Build a network around you that will help keep you in contact, and people that will hold you accountable and help you. Get the help you need. Don't feel alone. You're not alone. Even if you feel it, I tell my wife all the time, feelings lie a lot. So don't be afraid to reach out to other people. Admit if you need help. Find people that you can be honest and real with. That's hard sometimes. It's very hard. um, and then don't listen to these people that turn everything wrong. I mean, I can think back when I had cancer several years back. I had a couple guys in the church that, well meaning, but continually told me, brother, you just must have sin in your life, because if you didn't have sin, you wouldn't be going through this. You wouldn't have cancer. You wouldn't have. Okay, guys, that's what Job's friends told him, and God totally got on their case and corrected them. That there are times that we go through life, ills in life, and troubles and struggles, and they have nothing to do with our sinful state, but we still go through it. It's part of being in this world. Don't be afraid. When you get those people that are like that, shut them off, close them off, turn away from social media. That's a terrible source oftentimes. It's also very tempting that when you're going through that, to do like I did and hopped on Reddit and proceed to correct a couple people, and not good, doesn't play well. Realize that yes, God is your refuge, God is your source, God is your strength. There are times when you're not going to feel him there. Times when you feel like you're praying to a wall, to a brick ceiling, and there's just nothing there. He hasn't abandoned you. He hasn't forsaken you. He's promised he would never leave you nor forsake you. And it's hard when you're going through that to know that. That's why an abundance of counselors will do you good. And counselors, professional as well as just good friends who will hold you up. Like I said, I know I haven't uploaded here, and part of that is because I've just been, man, I've got tons to say. I have lots I want to say. I've been reading a couple amazing books about how we misread scripture through Western eyes, talking about the cultural differences and stuff. I've got so much to share. And when it came down to sit down and record, it was just like, but I will be doing it. Life goes on. I'm grateful that when I do this, it's more a lack of motivation. I just want to sleep and do nothing. And then when I see this stuff, it's like, oh. I'm grateful that I have not had to deal with suicidal feelings, but I know some of you do. God is there for you. There are other people there for you. Don't face it alone. I know not really a devotion, but I encourage you, don't hole up. Find people you can get out with and go hang around with. Even just go sitting at a park or something if the weather allows, or the shopping center, just something to get out and away from that. And for me, it's been a couple weeks of just, okay, I got to do something, and finally getting out and doing something else. I encourage you to do that. If you're going through it, let me know. Share it in the comments. I want to pray for you. And no, I understand. I care. Thanks so much for watching this. I hope it's encouraged you. I hope it's also helped you see what some other people are going through. And I pray that you have been given eyes to look around and say, who's struggling right now? Who can I go be a friend to? Who can I help? Who can I encourage and bless? Look for them. They need you. They do. Thanks so much. God bless.